Hey everybody, it's Dean Guccione for Tomorrow's Firefighter, and welcome to this video where I'm going to be talking about mental toughness and being a firefighter. Now I'm going to be talking about two specific areas where you're going to have to exercise and learn and develop mental toughness while on the job as a firefighter, and especially as a rookie firefighter. And that first area is actually running emergency calls and going on 911 responses and helping people and dealing with the death and destruction that you're going to see on a very regular basis. And then the second area is mental toughness around the station, especially as a rookie and as you're learning your job as a new probationary firefighter. So the first area is emergency or 911 calls. So let me kind of paint the picture for you where you're responding to let's say a double shooting. Okay, there's two shooting victims and you're responding on your engine company, and maybe another engine was also dispatched and two paramedic units. And let's say it's near the downtown area of the city that you're working in. And you get there, all the units arrive on scene at the same time, and you go inside and you see one person is down and with multiple gunshots, and the other engine and the other rescue are taking that victim. And then you get called, your captain says, okay, we're going to take this other gentleman. And this person is shot, and they're shot with a small caliber handgun, like a .22. So they're talking to you and they're telling you, oh, I'm shot, I don't know where, but I can feel it, I've been hit. And now you're part of that crew and part of that EMS crew taking care of this person while, all the while this person is starting to circle the drain, and you're starting to take the vitals on them, and you get kind of sketchy, blood pressure and elevated pulse and elevated respirations, but he's still conscious and talking to you. And then suddenly, he's bleeding out, but you don't really know it yet because it's .22. When that enters your body, it ricochets all over the place and it causes a lot of internal damage. So he's bleeding out inside and he's slowly circling the drain as you get vitals, and maybe you're helping the paramedics set up the scope and you're stripping an IV and all that kind of stuff. And now he ends up going unconscious, and now his pulse, he stops breathing and he becomes pulseless. So he's in traumatic full arrest now. So you're going from treatment mode and you're moving pretty fast, and now you're in CPR mode and you're trying to save this person's life, and you guys may end up scooping and running, but the point being is you're having to deal with these types of situations on a fairly regular basis. And it could be other situations too, where you're in somebody's home and the family's screaming because the husband's in full arrest, or you're on a traffic accident and you got multiple victims. You got an auto peded where the person got hit by a car at 40 miles an hour, and luckily they're still conscious and they're talking to you, and then they're circling the drain, then they go out and they go into full arrest. And now you've got to deal with all of that as soon as you get back to the station and you go off duty, and then you come back on duty and you're dealing with this every day. That mental toughness that you've got to develop is really critical to your success in your career and your ability to cope in all of those types of things. So that's just one area. It's obviously a significant area, but you've got to develop that mental toughness so you can get in there and do your job. Because as soon as those tones go off, man, your adrenaline gets going. You have no idea what you're going to hear when the dispatcher starts talking. So they start saying, double shooting, and now you're going, holy cow. Now your adrenaline starts getting up and kind of getting elevated a little bit. But when you get on scene, all that stuff has got to go away, and you've got to focus on the task at hand, and that is doing your job and getting in that mode of treatment and doing and performing those skills that you're asked to perform by the paramedics to help save this person. And so that's why that mental toughness, you need to kind of shift gears and go from kind of, oh crap, and your adrenaline going to, okay, now it's time to go to work, and I'll deal with the emotional part of this after the call. Because if you're emotional on the call, you're worthless to your team, and you're worthless to your engine company and to the paramedics that you're working with trying to save this person. So you kind of see the importance of that mental toughness. So then the next area is your mental toughness around the station, especially as a new rookie firefighter while you're trying to learn your job. Because believe me, after this call is over, I guarantee you probably did not perform all the skills necessary and all the skills you were asked to perform. I'm sure because you're learning. But I'm sure you didn't perform all of them up to 100% like a veteran 5 or 10 year firefighter would perform it. It's just not realistic, and it's not even really expected of you, but it is expected of you to understand and know and learn your basic skills. So, but because it's hectic and there's a lot going on, you're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. And that's why the other firefighters are there to guide you, and the captain is there, and the paramedics are there to guide you as well. And they're going to be kind of interjecting with things. Hey, do this, do this. Hey, you're doing CPR, you're not pushing deep enough. So you got to push at least 1.5 inches, 2 inches. Or maybe you're not doing CPR fast enough. Go faster, 100 a minute, right? So those kinds of things. Now, when you get back to the station, you're going to be critiqued on your performance on every single call as a rookie firefighter, because that's how you're going to learn, and you're going to learn what mistakes you made. And hopefully, if you've got a good crew and you've got a good team and you're on a good department, they're going to tell you the good things that you did as well. But part of that mental toughness comes in where you may just be getting negative critique, and they're just telling you the things that you did wrong. And unfortunately, some departments are like that. Some crews are like that within the department that may actually be a good department, and they're constructive on their criticism. But you might be with a group that is pretty harsh, and so you've got to develop that mental toughness. Now, kind of a sidebar, I'm working to try to change that in the fire service for the folks that I'm trying to help promote to captain and to battalion chief. I'm working with them to change that mentality of silence. If nobody's telling you anything, that means you're doing a good job. But if they're criticizing you, then you've made mistakes. You need to fix it. You need to learn. You need to train more and develop those skills and become better at your job. So again, that's what I'm kind of working for. But you got to be ready for both of those scenarios where you're with a good company that tells you, yeah, you did these things really well, but you didn't do these things so well, and we need to train more, and we need to work with you more. So you get up to speed and you get more proficient and better at these skills, okay? So that's the kind of mental toughness that you're going to have to deal with around the station. I mean, and that's just being critiqued on calls. You've got a ton of information that you've got to learn in your rookie manual. Your rookie manual is going to be this thick, okay? It's going to be a big notebook with all the policies and operations, SOPs, SOGs, rules and regulations, all that kind of stuff that you're going to have to learn. And you might even have to learn geography for the district that you're in, or for the whole city. If you work for a small city, they may require you that. Beverly Hills, they required us to learn the entire city, every single street in the city, and on your final exam, you had a map test where we had to list all 500 streets or however many streets there are in Beverly Hills. So be ready for all of that, because that mental toughness is really going to go a long way in really helping you kind of get through. And I don't like to say the word survive, but it's really going to help you get through to be strong mentally. Because if you're strong mentally, then you're going to learn and be able to cope with all of the different calls and emergency 911 calls that you go on and all of that, plus the stress of your rookie year and all the information that you're having to learn. Plus you got firefighters that, you're the new person. So you're training all the time. You're always learning, and they're always critiquing you, and you're going to be critiqued for that first year. And you're going to be critiqued if you have a 3-month exam or a 6-month exam or 9-month or 12-month, whatever your final exam, whatever that is, you're going to be critiqued on all of those things. And the more tough and the more strong you are mentally, telling yourself, I can do this and I can get through this, and learning just one step at a time and little chunks of information at a time. And as you go through, you will find that having and developing that mental toughness is going to go a long way for your success. So I really hope that helped you. And if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe, leave a comment. I look at all the comments. I try to answer all the comments. And if you're watching on YouTube, click that link below, and that will bring you to a page where you can sign up with your email address, where I'm going to give you a full oral interview series. It's a training series. It's an introduction to my Firefighter Oral Interview Academy. And you can't get that on YouTube. You can only get that if you sign up with your email address. And if you're watching this on tomorrowsfirefighter.com and you haven't signed up yet, do so and check it out, and you're going to get that free video training series for your oral interviews. So I really hope you sign up and you check that out. So I really appreciate you watching, and thanks again, and we'll see you next time.